The World of Outlaws lose a full-timer, and this one surprised me a bit. Plus, we'll talk special dirt late model dream wraps, more on Mansfield, a busy day of racing ahead, and just how do race teams handle all these logistics. Let's go. It's Tuesday, June 3rd. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. It's a big week over on Flow Racing. They've got midweek high limit action, Indiana Midget Week, the Flow Racing Night in America series, and then all 3 nights of the Dirt Late Model Dream from Eldora. If you can't get to those races and you want to watch from home, grab a subscription to Flow. You can sign up and help out DIRTRACKR at no additional cost to you by heading over to dirtracker.com/flowracing. Signing up means you'll get to watch hundreds of races a year, and that's just on the dirt side. They've also got drag racing and NASCAR, road racing, and I'm sure there's even things on there I don't even know about. So grab a pass at dirtracker.com/flowracing, or you can click the link below in the video description, or the Flow Racing links at dirtracker.com. We're going to start this show off with one of the questions I received on the DIRTRACKR Patreon a few weeks ago. I did a call for questions. We've been kind of working through several of them on the show since then. Jolene wanted to know about the logistics that the teams are faced with. Specifically, she asked about how many people do they bring, where does everyone sleep, are there paid or volunteer crew members, and what about showers and food, things like trailer inventory and operating plans. I think it's important to say right off the top that every team operates differently, and some of this really depends on what level a team is racing at. But for this, we'll stick to top-level sprint car and late model teams. Sprint car and late model teams, they're similar in the number of crew members per car. You're probably looking at 3 for most. That includes a crew chief, a car chief, and a tire guy. Obviously, that's all in addition to the driver. And it's certainly possible to do it with less, and obviously easier to do it with more, but that seems to be what most teams want. For the big teams you know about, those are all paid positions, but it's not uncommon for friends and family to roll through races during the season to help out on a volunteer basis. As for where everyone sleeps, this one is often down kind of some interesting, lines that split this up. Sprint car teams are almost wholly in hotels. There will also be points in the season where sponsors or other friends are able to put guys up and house equipment for stretches. On the late model side, though, hotels can be less common, and guys are often in bunks in those $1 million toter home setups. Whereas you'll see the sprint car teams leave the track each night of a multi-day show. The late model teams, they often stay in place. Definitely a very different vibe from the sprint car pit area to the late model pit area. Showering is done either, at those stays away from the track or in the toters. Food is had along the way at restaurants or in the trucks, maybe at the racetrack. And then daily operations include servicing the race car, maybe traveling to the next event, depending on what day it is, and obviously working the races themselves. There might not be a written down daily plan, but each team definitely has their routines and ways of going about things. And organization tasks like trailer inventory for parts and tools, that is just kind of ongoing throughout the season. They'll obviously make a big push for that at the start of the season, but then it's something you just have to keep up with all the times. Teams will make sure that they are well stocked before trips with supplies and parts and engines, but they can get shipments and stop for things along the way. And it is not uncommon for there to be a whiteboard inside a trailer for, quote, things we need. And as you can probably imagine, it does take a significant amount of planning and attention to make all of this happen. Besides food, where to stay, what races you're going to, staying stocked up, teams also need route plans, and they need trucks serviced and fueled. There's taxes and other usual kind of business things to be handled. And then there need to be contingencies for flat tires and rainouts and for when employees move on. So hopefully that gives you at least a high-level view of the logistics at the team level, and thanks to Jolene for the question. It's an off week for the World of Outlaws late model series, but that hasn't kept them from losing a series full-timer. Max Blair and the Centerline Motorsports team announced yesterday evening that they will go pick and choose for the remainder of 2025. Blair and the 111 cars signed up with both Lucas and the Outlaws to start the season, but ultimately settled with the Outlaws after a solid start to the year during speed weeks. In the 11 Outlaw races since then, since they left Volusia, Blair has finished in the top 10 just a single time, though, a 9th place finish during the first night of the Illini 100 weekend at Farmer City. The last 3 races should have been right in Blair's wheelhouse in Ohio and Pennsylvania, but the best they could get was an 11th at Raceway 7. He was outside the top 15 at both Marion Center and Bedford. The struggles have left the team 302 points behind Bobby Pierce down in 10th, and that seems to be the motivation for the move. This change felt surprising to me kind of initially, but after looking at the stats, it seems clear maybe a reset will do them good. Blair has 5 career Outlaw wins, but hasn't won an Outlaw show since he was last a full-timer with the series back in 2022. His last and only Lucas win was in 2023, if you are curious. In local and regional action, though, Blair has been cleaning up. He's got 7 wins in various local shows and with Rush here just recent weeks. And I'm sure we'll continue to see him race around home and stack up more victories kind of when it fits in. Coming up, Blair will be at Eldora for the Dream, and they will pick and choose from there, which they say will include events with both the Outlaws and Lucas. The social post did say the team plans on being back on a national tour in 2026. The Outlaws losing Blair leaves the series at 16 full-timers. That puts both the Outlaws and Lucas on similar footing, as I think Lucas is at 15 right now. It's a shame to lose Blair from the tour, but I get it. It's brutal out there right now. Bobby Pierce winning everything, Tim McCready suddenly finding speed, and there's a whole list of others waiting to strike. Guys like Nick Hoffman, and that's to say nothing of the Lucas guys that pop in and out for some of these big shows. Sticking with dirt late models, Eldora Speedway released prelim night rosters for this week's Dream. We are having the same kind of field split between the 2 nights that we had last year. Everyone coming back together then for Saturday. So you get half the field Thursday, half the field Friday, everybody back together for Thursday. Both Thursday and Friday are $30,000 to win each, and then Sunday is $100,000 to win. As of yesterday, there are 96 total teams entered. Here's a look at the Thursday roster. This one includes Hudson O'Neill, Bobby Pierce, Tyler Erb, Nick Hoffman, Joseph Joyner, Dale McDowell, Drake Troutman, and Dalton Wilson. So these are the teams you'll see on Thursday. And then here is the Friday set of teams. Ricky Thornton Jr., Brandon Shepard, Brandon Overton, Tim McCready, Chris Madden, Jonathan Davenport, and Garrett Alberson. I think at first glance, I might say Friday is the tougher of these 2 nights. I think maybe I'd rather run Thursday here. Before Dream stuff starts Thursday, don't forget the Flow Racing Night in America series hits Eldora on Wednesday to kick everything off. I also wanted to share a few Dream wraps we've had released in the last day or so. The first one here is Bobby Pierce. Definitely had everyone talking about this Bob Pierce throwback from 1995. I'm a big fan of this. This is great. And Bobby even has the fire suit here to match. I'm sure they'll sell a few shirts with this one on it at Eldora. And not uncommon for Pierce to roll out a fresh look for the big shows at Eldora. The Hunt the Front guys also rolling out a new Kubota Genuine Parts scheme for this week on their capital. These guys have made some noise at Eldora before and are coming off of a top 5 run at Brownstown with the Northern All-Stars. I appreciated this 1999 senior picture situation we have going on here also with Joseph laying on the ground next to the car. One update to the story we talked about yesterday with Matt Tifft acquiring the defunct Mansfield Speedway. The initial information we had didn't include anything about the surface type. Would Tifft keep it dirt or maybe bring it back to pavement? He's since revealed, though, that the track will come back to life as a dirt track. That's great news, with maybe a future return to pavement. He talked about wanting to be in good cash flow position before thinking about pavement. But if he's got good cash flow with dirt, maybe pavement shouldn't be on the table. Just a thought here. We'll continue to follow progress. Tifft mentioning there will be videos posted to YouTube soon and maybe community cleanup days where folks can help get involved there at Mansfield. Looking ahead to tonight, a very solid slate of racing for Tuesday. The Kubota High Limit Sprint Cars make their first trip into Wisconsin, which, if you might remember, was a battleground early on for racetracks between the Outlaws and High Limit, with High Limit getting shut out of the state in 2024. They'll run at 141 Speedway tonight and then go to Red Cedar on Wednesday. I would assume then that a bunch of the teams will stick around the state to run the World of Outlaws events this weekend between Plymouth, Beaver Dam, and Angel Park. We suddenly have a very different looking championship battle following the Brad Sweet DQ at Butler. He's fallen 6 points behind Tyler Courtney for the lead, and only 68 points cover the top 6. Sweet still looking for his first series win since Central Arizona back in March. The next 4 races on the High Limit schedule, all midweek championship events also, so we'll see lots of movement in the standings there as well. With just 2 races complete for the midweek title, which is kind of a championship within a championship, Rico Abreu leads Sweet by 14 points. A lot is going to change there, though. Tonight's action at 141, it's going to be fresh territory for a lot of drivers as it's a regular stop for the IRA sprint cars, but not national tours. The track hasn't held a big national touring event really of any kind since the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series was there in 2018. Scotty Thiel was most recently an IRA winner at 141. That victory came actually just here a few days ago. I was a bit surprised we didn't get an entry list posted for this one. We usually get those for the midweek shows from High Limit. Also tonight, it's time for Indiana Midweek. Circle City, Paragon, Lincoln Park, Bloomington, Hobstadt, and Kokomo will host races today through Saturday. Through 5 races so far, Justin Grant, your Midget points leader over Cannon McIntosh and Cale Drake. The amount of completed races will more than double this week for the season, so expect a lot of changes in the standings. JG has won twice already, while McIntosh, Cale Drake, and Jacob Denny all have 1 win apiece. Dazen Persley is the defending Midget Week champion, but he'll be in the sprint car for some of these nights, so no title defense. USAC says they expect somewhere around 40 cars to compete this week in various events, so should be good fields every single day. If you aren't a sprint car midget fan, there's also Super DIRTRACKR Series action today. The modifieds head to Big Diamond, and then we'll follow that up with Sealands Grove tomorrow. All of this racing can be found on the streaming schedule at DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. Check that out all season long for a full rundown on your daily options. That's the show for today. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday out there. We will see you right back here tomorrow.